What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy DXB Crypto back with another banger. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're a returning legend, you know what to do. Caress the like button and let's get into this important video. Now, the reason I'm actually bringing you a tier list video of crypto gaming is because I see massive opportunity for people that haven't made money so far in the cycle to walk away with your 10, 20, 30, 40, even perhaps 100x's, because this is showing all the marks of a sector that has been completely depleted. However, with the recent moves of IMX and Superverse, you're starting to see, I told you about a week ago, in fact, last month, I did a video saying it was the third largest narrative after meme coins and DeFi. So this is going to be super important, guys. Let's get straight into the video. And I'm going to give you an analysis that's a little bit different. First of all, the entire sector is actually less than $18 billion. All-time high, the entire sector was way under, it peaked here in 2021, just under 50 billion. So when you look at the Grand View research on the total gaming market, the entirety of the gaming market here, which is projected to be around 500 billion by 2030, and blockchain gaming going mainstream with the titles like Off the Grid going absolutely mainstream, one of the best games out there. How can we make money from this sector is the question that I'm asking myself. A lot of us have been holding bags since 2024. And in this video, we're going to rank some of these. I'm going to get on with it so you can actually get benefit from this video really, really fast. Immutable X, in the last 7 days, is up 8%, going against the market. What that tells you is one thing. Immutable X is literally leading the gaming market, both in market cap and in accumulation. Superverse, you can see there, has also had a remarkable week. And in the last 24 hours, with Elio Trade behind this, it has done really, really well, up 30%. So while the average retail investor thinks gaming is dead, whales are accumulating this. And I've got an interesting take on what these projects, absolutely what they're doing behind the scenes and what we can expect in terms of gains. Now, Immutable X is already a large cap, but a lot of projects are built on Immutable X. Most things are connected to Immutable in the back end. TVL here, 27 million, market cap, 1.4 billion, fully diluted, of course. But the chart just looks absolutely depressed because this was all-time high with, of course, slightly worse tokenomics. I mean, this was absolutely rocking in the last cycle, as you could see. So who's buying this and what are they doing lately? The latest in Immutable X is a massive move into mobile gaming. As what they've done, and this announcement, of course, coming in the 19th of September, Immutable Mobile Gaming Division now is a real thing. And this is why you've seen prices growing. Of course, it says 50% mainstream gamers play on mobile, generating 121 billion revenue. Of course, after the Epic Games court case in April, these games can now link to external crypto payments without incurring the 30% fee. You'll remember the big case with Apple and Google and, of course, the App Store and all of these things. So mobile gaming is a massive opportunity for these guys. It seems like they've put together the right team. And for that reason, I do believe this is a no sweat 10x, right? This is an absolutely easy peasy lemon squeezy. It can go, I mean, we can even go as, saying like, it could go 7x or whatever. But if you're one of those investors who are looking for blue chips, and still a 7 to 10x is nothing to be sniffed at. Some people will say 5x, but I think it goes a little bit higher than that in my opinion. 7x is probably a fair case. So we'll put this as a potential blow off top 10x. Now the next one is Superverse. And Superverse have been absolutely blowing and showing an indication of where the gaming market is. In my opinion, with a solid team, they have made tremendous moves towards Elio has gone into Telegram. Ton hasn't done anything, but this sits at a fully diluted valuation of $683 million. circulating currently $429 million. The chart, what it does show more than all of the other games or gaming projects is it does actually work. It does actually react to altcoin season. So we're seeing here, November 2023, who can forget that run that took us all the way into AI, and that was until February, March 2024. And then, of course, last year it peaked over $2.15. I could see this going maybe up to $10, maybe slightly more. But from 68 cents into $6, clean 10x. I'll put this in the same bracket as the last coin that we just saw, which was Immutable X. Now, in my opinion, if you look at some of their updates, again, you know, everyone's connected to them. They have obviously got a unique team set up, and they know what they're doing. And of course, Elio is a supreme marketer along with Alex Becker. They're going to push your bags. Massive following, of course, big partnerships with the likes of DeLorean Labs and others. I mean, everybody's connected to these guys. So what their main aim is to unite the biggest Web3 communities with the best crypto games. In addition to that, you can see here, they've obviously had partnerships with Black, which is a very good DEX. And this is this token has a lot of room. The whales love it, and I think you'll get a 10x. All right. So next, we will move to the next one in the case. Now, the second largest, so I've jumped to Superverse in excitement, but the second largest cryptocurrency game, real game, I'm not talking about render and all of these other things in these categories, is Gala Games. Now, Gala have tried Gala Music, Gala Games, Gala Cinema, Gala TV, whatever you can think of, they've done that. But I do believe generational money has been made in this vertical ascent in the last cycle. This is a project that's an example of bad tokenomics. Of course, the team had a fallout. You had all of these different problems, but they are still pulling in a massive $64 million 24-hour trading volume, which is a lot, which tells you that they are still relevant and they are still shipping, and their website actually looks pretty good. They got their games. In my opinion, they have grown a lot, but all of these different facets to their business for me makes me a little bit less, actually way less enthused. So for me, I will avoid Gala Games this cycle. Thank you very much for what you did last cycle, but this time round, Gala Games for me is no-go. All right, you could still make a good 5x, perhaps even it could blow up a little bit more than that, but it is old news. Next one. The next one's going to be very interesting in terms of market cap, $426 million. Now, of course, you'll remember Bored Ape Yacht Club, but ApeCoin is no longer NFT related. It is gaming. It is lifestyle. They have rebranded and launched this Ape Chain. Now, the thing about Ape Chain is they have money. And when you have money to spend on a chart that is dead, it can only mean one thing. Now, I'm not holding this. I have been looking at this for the last several months. I'm not holding it. But you got to be a fool to turn your eyes away, of course, and say they're not going to do anything. In my opinion, watch this space because they've got a lot of money and now they have people coming over in terms of developers shipping on their ecosystem. So they have something called an ecosystem fund. Now, whether you trade this, I think this is going to be, in my opinion, one of the best leverage trades. I know everybody doesn't trade leverage, but this could be a rocket with a lot of money behind it. In my opinion, this is what I'm talking about. This chart is not relevant, but what we do here is we're a little bit more intelligent because we want to go against the grade. While everybody's running to one direction, you look at the other direction. You look at this in 2025, the chart looks more respectable. Now, in my opinion, if they put their money where their mouth is, I can see Ape Chain going absolutely berserk. $4 billion, is that beyond the realms of possibilities? They've got a trading volume of 47 million over the 24 hours. I think it's a possibility. So Ape Chain, despite the fact that it's everybody thinks it's dead with their money. I'm going to actually give this a higher 7 to 10x, in my opinion. You just have to you have to know how crypto works. Guys, people don't come for our micro caps all the time. That's why a lot of people don't make money, because they avoid stuff like this. Plus, if you take a nice little 10x leverage or whatever, I'm not encouraging leverage, but it's one of those charts that can go absolutely berserk in a gaming season. And of course, it is now a layer 1. Next on the list is Beam. Now, Beam's going to go straight to 15x, and I'll tell you why. 10 to 15x is a real possibility for Beam. Beam, formerly Merit Circle, sitting around that $400 million market cap, is the 4th largest coin in my own classification of gaming coins, because you got render and all kinds of other stuff here. But this could go absolutely berserk. Now, what makes them unique is the fact that, first of all, their chart has one of the largest accumulations I've ever seen in crypto. You could go back as far as whenever, and you will see this chart absolutely more or less being the same, right? Even back to the beginnings. You see these early days here? This chart is ridiculously undervalued. At a $400 million market cap, 10x to 4 billion. This could actually even do, of course, 20x would be to 8 billion. And I think it can do 20x, in my opinion, but I'm going to not give you hopium, because you've got to time your exit. And in order to do so, you need to leave at a comfortable fib level, 15 to 20x and maybe beyond. But that's because they've got treasury money from Abu Dhabi, and that money is going to be spent just like Ape Chain, guys. You know, you've got to look at chains with real firepower. Look at these guys. Beam is for gamers. You know, they've got so many projects that are on their layer 1 as an Avalanche subnet. And the mission is to build a future for gamers, users, and organizations around the world. They've succeeded that with the money they got from Abu Dhabi. And in my opinion, Beam has this crazy, crazy, crazy treasury. Industry leading, you know, this is a war chest. They're not hiding it from you. It's just that they're not telling you to go and buy a dgen play where you lose your money. You know, put $1,000 in, get 10, 15, 20 grand, put 2K in, double that, and so forth and so forth. But there is a way to make money in crypto, and they are spelling to you, we've got all of this dosh sitting around, and we are going to spend it because we're calling this a strong war chest. That means token buybacks or whatever they do. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do, but they look for quality, guys. Sick and tired of these shit coins doing absolutely nothing. Mix your portfolio really well. Even if you have to hold 2-3 gaming coins, doesn't really matter. You can then balance your risk. Okay. But it's got a lot of holders. And in my opinion, Merit Circle know what they're doing. And that is going to be printing like crazy. Okay. Next one. We have ILV. Now, I'm going to be very quick with ILV, Illuvium. And I'm going to say Illuvium goes same place as Gala. Of course, 5, perhaps a 7x here. We keep it moving. And then we're going to go straight to Heroes of Mavia. Now, this is where you start to see real crazy amount of money that's been made in the business. Because here you have a very low market cap, $6 million in market cap. You've got big backers. You've got lots of updates in terms of what they are doing right now. And you've got a shitty looking chart. Now, the volume has remained steady because they work with Wintermute and they've got market makers. But what you're seeing is a rubbish chart. You are seeing a project that has actually, they've put more tokens out as well. So tokenomics wise, fully diluted right now is 30 million. But it looks like it's just going to go into the bull market with this 51 to about 80 million to 100 million tokens. And I can see this maybe going to $10, maybe 20, maybe 30. This can absolutely rocket and do crazy numbers. Don't make it complicated. The chart looks like this. You are a contrarian investor. Money is made with the narrative. Money is made when the chart is red. Money is made when things look really, really bad. Now, with their backers, of course, and their games. I'm just absolutely astonished that these will not be expecting returns, right? You've got Animoca Brands, you've got Binance Labs, you've got Crypto.com, you've got all of these Guildfi, you've got Kick, you've got Magnus Capital, you've got all of these VCs here, Avocado DAO. For me, I'm just, I'm just thinking here. The chart has absolutely bled forever. It looks like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. A 10x here would be $1.20. I mean, take your pick. But it does have, you are not alone in terms of expecting things, because the suppression by Wintermute and the market makers make this a viable 50x opportunity, because when they want to send it, when they get all the weak hands out, they will absolutely send. Next one is Shrapnel. Shrapnel for me is a straight 100x. Both of these could be actually 50 to 100x, but for the same reason, right? For the same reason, Shrapnel is actually a little bit more in terms of the market cap, smaller in terms of the chart, absolutely more dead in terms of volume, hardly anything in there, 147 million. So when people are dissing heroes of Mavia with nearly $3 million volume, this has absolutely, less than a meme coin that just launched. I can tell you millions of little shitty coins out there that I've just launched that have a better chart. Now, the problem with these guys was, if you remember last year, they had a big fallout, but their game is bloody top notch. 13th of August, this is the big news here. They have raised 19.5 million to fuel global launch, via these guys. So their game, this is off the grid. This is very, very good quality. And in my opinion, the graphics are insane and they are working. You can see here, they attended events, and most people don't realize that when projects are so down and the chart looks flat, it's just, there's nothing in it for them, right? But quality-wise, this is going to run with off the grid. Whether you like it or not, I'm telling you exactly how it's going to happen, and it's probably going to happen exactly that way. $4 million. This could go to a 400 million. It could go to whatever, 1 billion even. But at the moment, it is absolutely very high risk, very high reward. I'd actually categorize both of these in similar manner, even though Mavia is actually stronger in terms of you've seen the daily volume, right? So we can put them into that category. Now, I'd say this even more so because this has absolutely no volume right now. And if, big money's coming in and they're raising $13 million, they're not raising that money so they can go and have a sandwich, right? They're raising that money so they can spend it on the project. The next one is Corpo Games. Now, Corpo, for me, is do or die. I think Corpo Games is in the same exact scenario as these bad boys, right? Now, if we want to be conservative, we can actually say maybe a 50x potential here. But let me tell you what, the developer of Corpo Games has gone up in my estimation. Currently, 700K in terms of volume, but that's not what I'm interested in. I want to know what the team is doing. And as a result, they're building. They are building. They're in the studio. I can't guarantee. This is very, very high risk, in my opinion. But look at this. It looks absolutely insane. But what I like is what the fella had to say. He came out, looks like he's working very hard in the studio. And that sometimes you want to see people, you want to see builders, you want to see developers. And that's what I saw. I saw this guy talking about his project. There you go.
Okay, the all's looking good. And we believe that the products we are building and economy we are building will be the powerful tools for you to understand how undervalued the Corpo is and what we aim to do. Corpo is definitely going to evolve, not just making the games, but making the great tool for developers and people building inside our games. And we are super excited for upcoming animate update. There's still way go to long path to go, and this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. But we believe that
That's what you want to hear. You want to know, and they've been in Binance gaming spaces as well. A few Binance gaming spaces that I've seen them. It is an asymmetrical bet. It is absolutely money that you can afford to lose. Having said that, when you see people behind projects, it puts you into a more of a comfort zone. $4 million, this could absolutely do anything, right? But don't put your lunch money here, is my point. These high risk, high reward projects, I would say probably the most certain one that we've looked at so far is Heroes of Mavia, in the sense that Heroes of Mavia has all of these big VCs that will be supporting the chart. And they've been doing it, deliberately suppressing the chart, just like off the grid, because they know when they need to send it, they will send it. But Qorpo is interesting. It's built on BNB. BNB will probably support their gaming projects. Every single step of the way is going to be a fight, guys. Okay. Next one is Metacade. Now, Metacade is, I was meant to have an AMA with the founder there, but he was a bit stuck up. So, man, he started acting like a fool, telling me my channel's got bots. Every channel's got bots, man. Come on the channel if you've got the desire to promote your project to the best community in the world. But in my opinion, Russell, despite the fact that me and him obviously had that exchange, is a great guy. I think Russell's going to do very well for Metacade. Now, Metacade at the moment is around $20 million. Let's add Metacade in here quick. Metacade is sitting around $20 million. Okay, so it's already added here. Metacade is at $18 million. The good thing about Metacade is they are built on base and they've had pumps in reaction to the market. I like that. Volume to market cap ratio, not great. Sub $1 million for an 18 million, 21 million fully diluted. They could do a bit more, but I know base is going to be bullish. And I know Russell is with base on a daily basis with through spaces and a few other places that I've seen him. So he's obviously well known to the base community. Metacade could do very well. I think Metacade is a solid 20x from here. If he comes and does the AMA, I would say you never know, because he is quite a passionate builder. All right. After Metacade, I'm gonna go and show you another project here, which is part of the Sui ecosystem. Now, X Society on Sui, ticker was X. Sui Gaming anyway. Sui has a number of games that are built for action. One of these games is called X Society. Now, Sui Gaming is just in its infancy. It started now, and a lot of the Sui Web3 games that are meant to be built for mass adoption are coming absolutely soon. So in my opinion, there will be more projects that I've researched that I will give you. But here is a quick takeaway. Sui combines technical innovations, user accessibility for Web3 gaming. Sui also has account abstraction. Sui works with Google for seamless login without seed phrases. Gaming on Sui, and I want to present this in a completely different video because it deserves its own video to be fair, is going to go absolutely insane. Largely driven by the fact that Sui is the only layer one that's specifically working on hardware that is built for gaming. So with the X1, several games ship with it. Now, in my opinion, it's only a matter of time and you're seeing here the gameplay of X Society that ships with the Series X1, they are just going to get bigger. And it's not just the hardware, it's the way the hardware converges with the software, in my opinion. And I do believe some of the Series rankings that I will do separately will surprise you. Okay, so Series Gaming, X Society, several others that we've got as well. And we're going to go with the ranking there very, very soon. I'll do a completely separate video. Bloodloop goes next to Shrapnel. It could either be 0 or it could go absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, this one is an interesting one. This is Gala Games. I do believe that Gala pumps, but I can't see anything more than a 10x. Sorry, not Gala. Games for a Living. And then you've got the big one here, Off the Grid. Now, Off the Grid for me is a 30x play. You already know what the situation with Off the Grid is. It could even be more, but I don't want to keep too many 50x's on play. In my opinion, Off the Grid is completely unique. And soon as I see more games built on their layer 1 chain, Gunzilla chain, we are going to see crazy, crazy growth here. But no doubt that I've scooped some and I will be holding some. This could absolutely rocket and become the largest gaming project in the entirety of crypto. So far, huge suppression. Of course, they shorted it from day one. And since they shorted it, market cap right now is $20 million, which is absolutely insane. $25 million. Chart looks okay. But again, trading volume for something that's actually debuted on Binance is very, very small. Having said that, there's not a lot of liquidity in the market. Circulating supply 1.2 billion. You've got to have one chance to hit 20, 30, 40, 50x. Sell every single bit of it along the way because inflation here is not going to be your friend. But once they launch, and again, I stress this, once they launch this chain, Guns is now available on OpenSea. They are doing millions of dollars with assets. This is the first real crossover game that is just like ridiculous. Next we have Xi Games. I think Xi XAI will be pumped by Binance. This is the only quality game on the Arbitrum blockchain. I think that could do 15x. 10 to 15x is a real possibility. X Society could do about 10 to 15x. Pixel is about 10x from here, in my opinion. Octo Games, I mean, this could do 100x, or it could completely fall off, in my opinion. For now, I'll just put it 15 to 30x. Another 100x here is, oh my goodness. I mean, if you haven't seen that game, for many of the OGs watching the video, you probably have played Zelda. And in Zelda, there's Moon Tropica is basically a replica of Zelda. I was just playing Zelda with my daughter on the Nintendo Switch. This is a fun game. Now, what they've done here is they have changed the tokenomics. So right now, available only on PC, and I think it's also available on Steam. What they've done is they've completely changed their tokenomics. Instead of 3 million or 2.5 million, now the tokenomics will be ramped up to 30 million. This is a straight cult community is equal to 1,000x. I mean, you can't put anything past this. And the reason they needed to increase the circulation was purely to do with the fact that they need to pay exchanges and get it listed, and they need some for liquidity and so on and so on. But it's either all or nothing. In my opinion, it's either 100x or nothing. Foxy's is a good game. I'd give it 30x. I'd also give Carrot. I mean, after the debacle of the tokenomics, it's absolutely incredible. But they are still plugging away. Arbitrum are going to launch their studio chain with Carrot. Okay, so Carrot could come back again, relatively slightly bigger market cap than these dgen ones, but 15 to 30x is a real possibility. Zentry. Now, this is one that I'm sure will be listed on Binance. It's already in the Binance Alpha. And of course, We have a few others here that we could rank between, you know, these different levels. In my opinion, look, at the end of the day, some of these will do very well. Sit as heroes, I think that could do 50x. So Senate. And lastly, playable games. I think playable games could go absolutely insane. And even, you know, to be honest, I feel like changing Mavia and Qorpo to that level because these are slightly bigger market caps. But for me, that's how I would play it. I've got a bag of Beam. I've got a bag of Mavia. I've got a bag of Qorpo. I've got a bag of Zentry. And of course, I've got a bag of Carrot. The others here, I'm not so sure, but I will be watching the likes of Ape Chain because I am not a complete degenerate. Some of my money will go to these good qualities. And in terms of holdings, the largest gaming token by dollar value is Beam. Of course, I want to be safe with that kind of money. Hence why I bought some of these other, dgen plays. So let me know what you think. This was an extensive list. You are going to make money here. The whales are already buying. Let me know what games you're buying. There are a few on base. I'd like to do a separate dedicated video for base only and one for Sui. But right now, I've just given you a mix, of course. And big up to Mario. Like I said, I've been playing Nintendo DS with my daughter. As always, like the video, share, and give me your thoughts. And be honest. I mean, are you holding any gaming tokens? Are you interested in gaming tokens? Have you seen the same, the crazy vertical returns that these can do in a gaming season? And are you a contrarian? Do you buy when others don't actually buy charts? Because that's the only way to survive, because it gives you ample time to do plenty of research. I've been your host. Smash a like, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.